again, my Algebra 1 friends. I know today in class we are a little confused. I introduced our next section with variables on both sides. And I know that when you see an equation this long, I know it's very discouraging. But again, we're still really using those basic two steps. After you simplify and combine like terms, it really is going back down to those basic two steps of getting rid of whatever's not attached to x first, and then whatever's attached to x, we also need to get rid of that second, whether it's through division or multiplication. So as long as we go through what we already know is simplifying, always simplify first, combine your like terms, and then get rid of, what's not attached to x, and then what's attached to x is what we already know, just going through those step-by-step process. So I just want to give you another tutorial. I know we have a quiz tomorrow. We have our Chapter 1 test next Friday the 19th. So hopefully you viewing this and watch me walk through this process with you will help you for those two exams that are coming up. So when looking at this, it might help you if you put a little on the equal sign, maybe put something right in between for the first step to make you sort of think, just look at this side separate from this side to begin with. Okay, so when I'm saying simplify and combine in like terms, only look at this side. What can I combine over here to make this side more simple? What can I combine over here to make this side more simple? Okay, 5 is a constant, -2 is a constant. There's nothing you can combine with x over here. X is by itself, okay? But I can say 5 minus 2, because that's a negative. 5 minus 2 is 3. So technically, this side you can make smaller. So this side I can do 3 minus x. So instead of seeing 5 minus x minus 2, you can simply see 3 minus x. It's saying the same thing, okay? So I just simplified this side, all right? What about this side? Same thing going on. I have 3 plus 4x plus 5. Do I need all that? No, I can simplify it, okay? So 3 is a constant, 5 is a constant, 4x. Can't really simplify 4x. There's nothing to simplify it with. I can't combine it with anything. But I can combine 3 and 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. So I can say 8 plus 4x. So instead of seeing all of this, you can technically just say 8 plus 4x. It means the same exact thing. So now let's undo this. So now instead of seeing this whole long thing up here, you can just see that, okay, this is unnecessary. I just simplified. Okay? Okay, so what would be my next step? This is why I introduced to you today. When you have a variable on each side, what do you want to do? We're trying to solve for x. You see the variable is the same variable. X is over here, x is over here. To make your life simple, what you want to do is you want to keep x positive. You do not want to turn x negative. So you're going to look at your two x's. 4 is bigger than 1. So I want to bring this x over here to keep the x positive. So what I'm going to do is simply add an x, add an x. Again, this will cancel this x out, okay? And this will turn this x into 5x. So now I have 8 plus 5x. So now I have 3 equals 8 plus 5x. Now this is what we have been doing, so you should be very familiar with this. Okay, so I'm sort of just going to box this off for a second because you should be extremely familiar with what the next two steps are. This is the two steps equations we've been working with. Okay, so what's the first step? The first step of a two-step equation. First step is you get rid of whatever is not attached to x first. Okay, so I want to get rid of this 8. Okay, so two-step equation solving for x. So I want to get rid of whatever is not attached to x first. After I get rid of whatever is not attached to x first, then whatever is attached to x, I'm going to get rid of to solve for x. So this is what I would do. I would subtract 8 from both sides, because whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other, okay? You have to balance both sides. So when I subtract 8 from this side, it zeroes it out. When I subtract 8 from this side, it gives me a -5. So now I have -5 equals 5x. Again though, ideally, what is my goal? I'm trying to get x by itself. I'm trying to isolate x because I'm trying to solve for x. So I need to, since 5 is on the top, I need to divide by 5. Okay, so I'm going to divide by 5. Again, when I divide by 5, you do it to both sides. When I divide by 5, it's going to cancel 5 out on this side. Divided by 5 makes this side a -1. So x equals -1, okay? Again, you always want to box your final answer. So even though we started off with it looking really complicated, it really was not that complicated of a problem, okay? All we had to do was simplify it. Once we simplified it, it really started to look pretty easy, okay? After we simplified, then we needed to get the x to one side. You always want to bring the x to the side that's going to keep the x positive. After we brought the x to the one side, we were very familiar with the equation we had in front of us. It was a two-step equation, okay? All right, friends, I hope this helps you with your work at home. And good luck with studying for your quiz tomorrow. Thank you.